guys, what's up? It's your boy Damien Wolf, and I'm coming at you again with another video, this time with a long overdue review of the game which is called KOF Arena. Yes, it is KOF, it is King of Fighters, and for those who, who know me, this is one of my favorite games because my favorite character of all time, which you can see on the screen right now, Terry Bogard, is part of this universe. So definitely, this is something that I want to check out. Now, this game was brought to you by Netmarble, which is also the developer of another KOF game, which is called KOF All Stars. That game is more of a beat 'em up game, but for KOF Arena, this is more of a 1v1, well, 3v3. This is more like a PvP, PvP centric game. Which is kind of like how how a KOF game should actually be, or how the original KOF games are. Now, with that said, it is pretty much a very different game. It is not your normal fighting game because obviously this is a mobile game. Although I am playing this on the emulator, BlueStacks, but you can actually download a PC version of this, but the controls are a little wonky, and I can't seem to to customize it. So because of that, I am using the mobile controls by using BlueStacks emulator. Alright, well, once you start the game, again, guys, I've played this game since December. I think I installed the game December 7, and I haven't been, I haven't tried it for a few days. Once I started playing the game, there are a few things that I've noticed. First of all, the number of characters that you can use. The thing that you can notice here, guys, the number of characters that you can use are 37. There are 37 fighters all in all. And you can use these characters, you can use everyone. Everyone is actually free and quote unquote unlocked for you to use. But you can only level up those which you have already summoned via using a cartridge. Alright, so basically once you've summoned a character, that's when you can access what you call his fighter mastery board, and you can actually start leveling up some of his stats, some of his skills, damage, health, and defense, and that's part of it. In order to level up, you're gonna need either the character points. You can use your character points, which you can obtain via just fighting or getting it on the daily passes, on the season passes, or you can use these cubes. I forgot what they're called, mystic cubes, yeah. And you can actually also earn this via certain battle passes, or just playing the game as well. Or you can use fight money, which I do not recommend because that can be used for other things, and something that you can actually cash out as well. So there are different tiers here. There's bronze, there's silver, there's gold, platinum, and then diamond. Alright, now I haven't seen a limit to how high I can go depending on the tiers. I will still experiment on this, and the guides do not actually tell us how far or how high we can master these skills and these stats, but I'll make another update once I've done so. Alright, now looking at the number of characters, looking at the characters that we have right now, it looks like it is based on the KOF 97 storyline, which is mostly on, well, 97, 98 I would say, because Heavy D is here. Mostly on the Orochi storyline, and definitely we see Orochi, Shermie, Chris, and Yashir, which is 97. We know that Gonitz was on 96, so I guess we're gonna call this a 96, 97, 98 mashup of characters if we're gonna talk about the lore. There isn't any, well, if you're talking about the lore, there isn't any lore yet available here, but of course King of Fighters aficionados know that just looking at the characters, we know that this is around, it's looking like it's around that time, 96, 97, 98. Rugal is here, which is funny. Um, Chang and Choi are using their taekwondo uniforms, which I know was in '97, if I recall. And we have Mai, Yuri, and King. Of course, they're here as well. Um, Mai, Yuri, and King. And funny, we have Orochi Yori and Orochi Leona here as well. So the Orochi versions. Now they're not necessarily better versions of the normal Yori and normal Leona, but yeah, they have of course modified versions of their skills. Once you are in the game as well, you're gonna be taking a look. Once you've been playing, you're gonna be getting some achievements. There are 3 sets here: the Champion's Path, Glorious March, and Chains of Destiny. And I think there's a beginner achievement board as well, which is not existing here anymore. Maybe it's because I've already done it. But as you go along, there are things that you can reach. Like for example, this one, play reach rank 20, and you can get rewards here like the Mystic Cubes, which I talked about earlier. Some of them have other rewards like the profile bars, and characters also have their own achievements and where you can win the character points, which you can use to level up their fighter mastery as well. Chains of Destiny also has either Mystic Cubes, or you can actually win icons, or for Chains of Destiny, the characters, you can get achievements for the characters, and you can unlock their icons, which you can use on your profile, and as well as their illustration, which you can see on the opening screen. Because I have Terry on, and you can fix this if you go to options and then career. You will see the basic information. This is where you can put in your icons, the status bar that you'd want. There's some information here like the best, previous, and current rankings you received on the season. You can check on your collection. These are the icons which I've talked about. So you can choose, once you've unlocked one, you can choose, and that will be your main main illustration or main animation on your lobby. If once you've started the game, you only have a default version of this character, which I don't even have the name yet. I don't know the name of this character, but she seems to be the announcer. But otherwise, you can use the other KOF characters as well. We got Mai, Yori, Yuri, Rio, and of course we got Terry. Battle record, of course, shows your current your matches, whether it's single match, and you can also toggle this for the elimination matches, which I'll talk about later. And you can also toggle per season. Season stats, of course, you can see all your stats per season. That's for the career. You can go to options. In options, you can actually dictate, of course, your graphics. I would recommend not putting it too high, depending, of course, on the device that you are using. You can check on the system, delete all cache data, reset all settings to default, and select language. We got notifications. You can turn on, you can turn off. And on the account, you can actually choose which account you'd like to connect the game to. There is also a support center and a forum, which I haven't actually tried, but of course those are available to you if you'd wish to use it. We have Cube Mastery here. Cube Mastery is a mechanic in the game in which, again, it just applies buffs to your characters. The problem here, which is also on the fighter mastery, is that once you attempt to level up one component, it can actually fail. And if it fails, it doesn't go up, or it doesn't stay the same. It actually levels you down. So one example is this cube. This was actually 1, and when I attempted to level it up, it actually turned 0. Now what's cool? Well, I already have enough of these. I'm not sure what to call these, but these are the material that you use to level up the cube. So let's attempt to level this cube up from 0 to 1. That increases my fighter mastery bonus to defense increase by 0.86%. So let's try to level this up, and yep. Alright, so that was successful. That's pretty good. I mean, there's no negative here, so obviously it leveled up from 0 to 1. But if I try to level this up from 1 to 2, it may fail, and it can go from, instead of 2, it can go back to 0. The cube masteries have different attributes. You just have to take a look at them, and there's like a central attribute as well. Okay, we've checked the fighters. Whatever rewards that you got, you can actually look on your mailbox, and you can of course receive all, and then you can just delete all that you've read. But in order to actually use them, you have to go to inventory, and then look at the 6 squares here at the bottom, and that's where you can actually use whatever it is that you got. Now there are different kinds of stuff that you can get. This one is a random box where it gives you mastery points at random, of course. So if we open one, for example, I got my mastery point, and there, that's it. Now for the mastery points, for example with Mai, I got mastery points for Mai, but I have not unlocked Mai yet. I haven't summoned her using a cartridge, so the mastery points is not something, I cannot distribute these mastery points with Mai because I need to unlock her using the cartridge. Now, I have other characters which I've already unlocked, and if I already have the mastery points for them, I can attempt to, of course, upgrade their stats and their skills. Now, with that said, I want you guys to take a look at the summoning. With that said, guys, let's try to summon a character and see what we're gonna get. So you can, well, of course, you can connect this to your Gcash. In order to summon a character, we're gonna need diamonds, and for diamonds we can get it in the shop. So obviously there are different prices for the diamonds, and there's also a black diamond shop which I will be talking about later, as well as the cube house. But the thing that we're gonna be talking about right now, exactly right now, are the diamonds. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna purchase the lowest one. You can either use now, once you purchase the items, either using your Gcash or whatever, you can check on the mail, and then you've seen that you've already purchased this. You can receive it. There you go. And since you already have it, let's try to summon. It's going to require us to use up 30 diamonds. And let's try to summon one character. So here's the summoning animation, which is actually pretty cool. Just need to tap the screen. Now, if you see here, look at the collection of the fighters. Look at the collection. It even includes KOF 15. It goes all the way from 94 to 15, and oh wow, we got Benimaru. I don't think I actually have it, so that's cool. Alright. So now that I have Benimaru, I can actually go to the fighter mastery screen, and you can see that Here you go. There's a different color for Benimaru compared to the others, which I've already unlocked. So if I click on Benimaru, it's already unlocked, and that means we can actually already distribute mastery points for him. Now, what's cool is that I've already been able to accumulate some mastery points for Benimaru, and I can already use this. I haven't been able to use it because I have not been able to unlock him, but now that I have, I can actually go ahead and upgrade his stats and skills. So let's try to do that right now. I have 1,250 character points for Benimaru, so let's click on this one. Now, in order for me to upgrade the overall normal attack, I have to upgrade his enhanced attack from 1 to 2. Same with his defense, and then his life. And when you see that, you can already see that the normal attack can already be enhanced from 1 to 2. So we'll try that as well. And you can see his skills can already be upgraded in terms of attack. So we don't have enough already, and I'm not going to use up any of my other materials because we have Benny points. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now you can go to the shop. Now you can go to the event. You can go to event, and this is where you can actually attain a lot of the materials. Now, people say that, of course, you have to spend to get the cartridges, but honestly, KOF Arena has been pretty generous. If you can see, there's a lot of stuff that you can do. There is a December daily check-in where you've actually received cartridges for free. All you have to do is to log into the game. You can, as you can see, I'm now on a Mystic Cube here part. So if I log in tomorrow, I'll be able to receive this, and so on and so forth. If you also buy the season pass, there will also be materials that you can attain. And sometimes you don't even have to buy the season pass. There are some parts here that you can get for free even without buying it. There's also a special achievements that you can reach, and you can get various materials or prizes. Like for example here, win 30 games or successfully land your finisher 50 times. Sometimes there are special events, for example for the Leona hidden event. Honestly, I'm not sure how I got this, but it activated for me, and it required me to use the special skin of Leona and use her as I play matches. And yes, the characters do have skin. So far, I've only seen Leona, but if you look at the special skin shop, you can purchase already 4 special skins. We have for Leona, Yuri, Choi, and Chang. The last is the mastery event, and I've already filled this up. All you have to do is just continue going through the game and fighting, and eventually you'll also be able to reach these prizes. Okay, alright, so one of the special, or I guess controversial things about KOF Arena is because this is the first KOF game. I would say it's the first KOF game to be on the P2E or have a play to earn mechanic, and that is the fight money, which I discussed earlier. So in order for me to discuss this, we need to look at an NFT that you will need to earn in order for you to be able to activate this earning mechanic. Now, I need to be clear that you do not have to do this you don't even need this if you just want to play the game. But it does add a very cool mechanic to it, and it's some people may think it's negative, but mobile games have already been sort of play to earn. Mobile games nowadays are sort of pay to win, but what's cool about KOF Arena is that it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll need to pay a lot in order to to be super strong here. but it will help, as with, of course, as with all play to earn games. Now, you need to be able to purchase what you call a controller box, and you know, it's pretty cool that they call it the controller. That is your NFT. Once it's 2,400 diamonds. This is roughly around 5 or 6,000 pesos, Philippine pesos. I am not sure. I'll do the math later. But in any case, that's what you need. Once you open the box, right now it's only commons. Later on, we will be introduced to epics and rares, etc. But right now, all that's available is what you call the common box. I think this is starter. Once you've opened it, you can get a controller. And once you've opened it, you can get a controller, and you can see the controller here on your inventory. And once you've clicked on it, you can actually link your controller. For now, I've already linked mine. So the option for me says unlink, and they have different stats as well. I'm not going to go through all of this, but I just want you... What's important is that in order for you to be able to earn fight money, you need to have a controller linked to your game. Now, there are various things here that you need to understand with the controller. There is also a socketing system here. You can unlock certain gems and you can buff the controller. But when you buff a controller, it does not do anything to your character. It just affects the fight money that you get or you can accumulate, or the sockets that you can put in. It basically will it's basically the P2E component of the game, but not necessarily affecting the gameplay. Now, once you have 2 controllers at level 5, you can actually mint. You can actually, what you call, I guess you can call breed. You can breed a controller. You can have 2 controllers. You know, you can add up. There you go. You can mint. You can add another controller here, and you can, I guess, get another controller box. I'm not gonna say baby controller. You're gonna get another controller box, and then you can open for another controller. Now the controllers. Once you have controllers linked, there is a controller energy here at the top, meaning that you can play 10 matches with the controller linked, and you can earn fight money as long as you have the fighter energy. The fighter energy, the controller energy increases depending on how many controllers you have linked. So just check on the game info, but I know that 2 controllers, you'll have 10, and above that you'll get around 20, etc, etc. So again, guys, I want to be clear that the controllers will not really affect the gameplay on how you progress your character. You can actually continue playing. You can continue playing the game without the controller. But to be fair, there is a way that it can affect the growth of your character, because the controller, of course, provides you fight money. And if you go to Fighter Master, you fight money. For example, if you go to carry, fight money is one of the components, one of the materials you can use to level up some of the skills. Alright, but I told you I don't recommend this, because of course there's other uses for fight money. Primarily, sometime in the future you might want to cash out and actually earn real money, but that option does exist in case you want to spend the fight money to upgrade your character. So I guess it does affect gameplay in some way. Alright, let's now do a practice match so I can show you a little bit about the physics of the game. If actually you press practice, you can go in a friendly match with another player. You just need his player number. I haven't done this yet. I'm gonna have to try that one time. But for now, we're gonna go in AI battle. Okay, let's have Terry and Mai. Now, the characters, all characters will have the same set of, same number of skills.
Ready? Fight!
So course, you'll have your health bar. You have a guard crush meter here on the second position, and we have your meter. This is your meter, which I'll be explaining later. All characters, of course, will have the same moves. You can move back, you can move forward. It's already an instant dash, and there is no jump, unfortunately, so that's bad. You can block attacks if you press back, but here in this game, it's not just the guard crush. There is a certain amount of hits that you can take before your guard is crushed, actually. So blocking can be a useful skill, but it's not something that you can rely on all the time. If you look at the right corner, there are 3 sets of skills here, and there is a max button, a special, a super special attack, and your ultimate or your critical art ability. Also, there are 2 buttons at the bottom. This is very important. This is the counter button. I will show you guys how that's done, and also on a match why that's important. And wow, what's cool with this KOF is there is a roll button as well. But this roll is not something that you can spam. It actually has a cooldown. So if you use that, there is a 0.7 second cooldown. So it's definitely not something that you can keep spamming. You can, you have to finish the cooldown for it to work. Now all the characters have your normal attack. And the normal attack, if you keep pressing on it, or if you hold down the normal attack button, then it will continue with the combo. For example, for Terry, you just keep pressing this one, you just keep pressing the normal attack, or you can hold it down, and this is how it so it's actually a 15-hit combo, just holding down the normal attack button. Now for the skills, Terry has his first skill is actually a power. It's a power geyser, or the upgraded version of power wave, maybe. There you go. And the second version is a power charge, combined with the sort of power dunk-like move. I haven't seen that move before, but it kind of looks like a power dunk. And the third special skill is so funny. It's actually Buster Wolf, which is his ultimate in the normal games. Now for practice mode, there's a way that we can reset, and it's at the upper left corner. So let's press that. You can take out the cooldown of the skills with this button, so we don't need that anymore. The third button can actually increase your meter, so that, for practice. Now the moves, all the attacks and the special skills can be cancelled to each other. Normal attacks can cancel to skills, like this one, or this. The special skills can also cancel to each other. There you go. And of course, all the special skills can also cancel to your super ability. Now, the max button at the top, at the upper left, if you have a certain amount of meter, I think it's once you reach 3 meters. Let's max it. I think it's 3 meters. Let's continue. Okay. Once you've reached 2 meters, the max button will appear. And what it does is that if you press on the max button, you can actually be able to spam your special skills even if there is a cooldown appearing on it. So for example, if I max this out, hey, come on, as long as I have meter, I don't care about the cooldown. I can spam those skills. Also, what's important about the max button is that it will allow you to be able to use your super a lot faster. So, for example, Also, one useful thing about the max button is you can use it to be able to activate your super quickly. So for example, for if you look at my meter, I only have 2 meter, and that is not enough to light up my super skill. I'm not be able to use that. But if I use the max button, the super skill will be able to use the super skill even if we only have 2 meters. For example, let's use the max button now. As you can see, the super meter has lit up. As long as I have meter, I can actually do the super, which I have not been able to do. Let's try that again. Okay. One useful thing about the max button is that once you already activated it, and you don't have enough for the super enough to activate your super, it will instantly be able to have you activate a super as long as you have the meter on. But you have to be fast, because once the meter runs out, you won't be able to use that super. So let's try that now. As you can see on the right corner, the super is not activated, it's not lit up, so I can't use it. But if I use the max button, use it. The same can be said about activating your ultimate ability. As you can see, I only have around 3.5 bars here, and normally you would need a full 5 meters to be able to activate the ultimate ability for Terry, which is Trinity Geyser, and same for all the characters. But if you have the max button lit up, then you can actually use that and have that like a shortcut for you to be able to use your ultimate ability. So let's try that out. As you can see in the right corner, my ultimate ability is not lit up, so I can't use it. But if we use the max button, as long as there's a little bit of meter, we can actually use it. Hey, come on! Now what's cool about, of course, KOF Arena is how you can blend different moves into each other. So once you've been able to mastered a little bit of your normal attacks and your special skills and your super ability, then you can do something like this. Or something like this. Alright, so you can choose all the characters. They are actually, kind of unlocked. But of course, you need to be able to summon them to be able to level them up. But what you need to know though is that the characters have their own stamina, and you can see that in the bars here. And once that stamina does run out, there is a secondary stamina, which you call the shared stamina. You won't be able to see it here, but you'll be able to see it once you've done a battle. Once your stamina and shared stamina has run out for a character, you will not be able to use them moving forward. So it's actually good to have backup characters that you've also leveled up. As you can see, I have some characters which I've already leveled up myself, so that in case I already run out of stamina for my main team, which is now for now is Orochi, Yashiro, Terry, and Leona, I have a secondary team which I can use. I actually use Clark, Gonitz, and Orochi as well. So it's good to have a lot of characters unlocked, but definitely do have at least 3 main characters that you do level up. The way to look at your shared stamina is actually looking at when you go to a character select screen on a battle, you can see the shared stamina here at the bottom part. Now once you've played a significant amount of matches and you've been able to win, your rank does go up from bronze to silver, to gold, to platinum, and to diamond. And of course, leveling up also means that you get to win a lot more fight money, and the rewards do get a little bit better as you climb the leagues. And of course, there is a ranking here as well. There have been events which you've been able to win a lot of fight money, depending on the ranking that you've had. So it's good to be able to level up as quickly as you can. And what's also cool, guys, is that the game really has just, is just new. So there's a lot of time for you to be able to continue playing and hopefully be able to move up in the ranks as early as now. One thing to know that if you want to cash out your fight money, there is an additional material that you have to use. You'll need to go to shop and you'll need to purchase black diamond. So there are certain prices for the black diamonds to be able to to convert your fight money into cash. And once again, that process, I will post a link to Mike Tamago's tutorial on how to be able to cash out your fight money into and convert it to real money. And yes, it can be done. So what's cool, guys, after playing, I was actually able to get a mystery box. So where do we see it? Okay, we're gonna look at inventory, and it's probably not there. Where is the mystery box? Okay, guys, what's cool is that while I was playing, one thing, when you already have a controller linked, there is a chance for you to get a mystery box as one of your rewards. So since we were able to get one with the controller, and as you can see, there is a mystery box. Now what should be in here should be a gem in which we can actually apply to one of the sockets of our controller. So let's see, let's try to unlock. Oh, there is a 3-hour time limit for you to be able to unlock it. So anyway, we'll be able to unlock it, and we don't have to rush. You can actually spend 180 gems, which I'm not gonna do. And we'll be able to, whatever comes out of there, we'll be able to include it in this socket. Alright, and with the power of movie magic or editing magic, we've been able to fast forward in time, and we can actually see and open the mystery box that we got. So let's do that. Opening this right now, and let's see what happens. I've never seen this before, so here we go. Unlocking. Oh, we actually got 2. Wow, 2 gems. Alright, and then we can... I do not own any gem, or I have to... What happened? I do. I own a gem. Okay, here it is. I do. Oh, but it's for efficiency. So maybe we can't place that in. Okay, so I can't. Alright, now let's go to the important part of the game, which is of course the gameplay. Now if you click on quick battle here at the corner, you'll be introduced to 3 modes. There's the practice mode, single match, and the elimination match. Now the elimination match is only there for a limited amount of time. You can actually see there at the bottom there's a 42-minute mark here, so elimination match does not is not available all the time. So normally you'll go for a 1v1 match. Now the difference between the two is that if you win with a 3v3 elimination match, you actually get more prizes than you get with a 1v1 match. Now for the 3v3, the 1v1 single match is where you fight against another player. All you have to do is to click on fight, and then you can choose your 3 characters. Now I would recommend that you choose characters that you already have leveled up. There's already buffs applied to those characters. In this case, I'm using Orochi, Terry, and Leona.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Okay, and then you can choose, of course, first, second, and third.
10, fight! Round 1. Ready, fight! Round 2.
It's bowling time!
Ready, fight!
Cover! Hey, come on, come on!
Come on!
Hey, come on, come on! Hey, come on, come on, come on, come on! Buster, wow! All right!
Now that we've finished that single match, as you can see, since I already have a controller linked, that match expended some energy, so now I have 9 energy left, and I was able to gain some fight money. Now there is another component here which is called the AP, and that is I think it means action points. This is so that you cannot continue playing the game every 24/7. Once your action points are done, you cannot play the game. That's basically it. Now let's try to play a 3v3 match. Alright, for the 3v3 match, what's unique here for the 3v3 match is that there's actually 6 players here. There's 3 of you in one team and then 3 on the other team. So you all pick a character I guess, for example, for me, I will pick Clark. Um, and then the other teams will pick their own characters. Now, this 3v3 elimination
10,
match is like
9,
your
8,
classic
7,
King of Fighters
6,
match.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fight!
And let's see what happens. So I fight first since I was in number 1. That's all set randomly.
Round 1.
Hey, come on.
Ready? Fight! KO!
Hey! 任務完了
Round 2.
とっととかかってこい
Ready? Fight!
破壊力無用しないぞ破壊力
Perfect!
さあ任務完了
Round 3. Ready? Fight!
破壊力 破壊力お破壊力
KO!
さあ任務完了任務を全うするまでのこと
Ready? Fight!
キルおりゃおりゃ
A few more things that you need to know about. Of course, we are on the Asian server. If you look at the left corner here, there is a way that you can actually transfer servers, but it does show which server that you should be able to use. And of course, obviously, if I go to North America, Europe, and South America, my ping will be ultra high, and the best server for me will be Asia 2. So we're gonna stay there. Also, of course, as you go along, your level does go higher. And right now, when you level up, your AP also goes higher. So I'm not yet. I haven't memorized what other stats do go high once you've leveled up, but I do know that the AP. This is not the AP that I've started with, and I know that it's only reached this level because I've been able to level up. Now, overall, overall, KOF Arena is a fun game. Of course, the unique ability to be able to earn fight money, which you can cash out eventually, And in order for you to cash this out, I'm gonna post a tutorial or a link to a tutorial done by Mike Tamago, so that you'll be able to see how you'll be able to convert this into real money by just really playing the game. I haven't cashed out anything yet. What I've done is actually I've kind of prepared. What I've done is all the fight money that I've been getting is actually going to leveling up the controllers, because I'm gonna try to mint more controllers, and then I'll see if it's something that I'll be able to sell, or I can use myself to be able to get even more fight money. And that's it, guys. I'm gonna be doing a lot more KOF Arena content. I'm gonna be streaming this as well on my Facebook and Twitch channel. So please give me a follow. My links are all in the description of this video. I'll see you guys next time on the next video and on the battlefield. Okay.